before I get more distracted again. Hi guys, this is Connie. Connie reads. It's a Friday already, and I've only maybe gotten a chapter, maybe two. This might be the second one for this week. Sorry. Here we go. Connie reads another fine myth. Chapter 16. A quote, just because something doesn't do what you planned it to do doesn't mean it's useless. T. Edison. Oz said thoughtfully. So you're powerless to restore my powers? Does that mean we can kill him after all? I asked eagerly. I had been hopeful of having Oz's powers restored, but in lieu of that I was still upset over having been hung. You're a rather vicious child. Frumple looked at me speculatively. What's a Purvect doing traveling with a Clawhod anyway? Who's a Clawd? I bristled. Easy, kid, Oz said soothingly. Nothing personal. Everyone who's native to this dimension is a Clawhod. Clawds? Get it? Well, I don't like the sound of it, I grumbled. Relax, kid. What's in a name anyway? Then it doesn't really matter it doesn't really matter to you if people call you a Purvect or a pervert? Watch your mouth, kid. Things are going bad enough without you getting cheeky. Gentlemen, Frumple interrupted. If you're going to fight, would you mind going outside? I mean, this is my shop. Can we kill him now, Oz? Ease up, kid. Just because he can't restore my powers doesn't mean he's totally useless. I'm sure that he'll be more than happy to help us, particularly after he failed to pay up on our last deal. Right, Frumple? Oh, definitely. Anything I can do to make up for the inconvenience I've caused you. Inconvenience? I asked credulously. Steady, kid. Well, Frumple, you could start by returning the stuff we left here when we went off on your little mission. Of course, I'll get it for you. The devil started to rise, only to find Oz's knife threatening him again. Don't trouble yourself, Frumple, old boy, Oz smiled. Just point out where they are, and we'll fetch them ourselves. And keep your hands where I can see them. Your things are over there, in the big chest against the wall. Frumple's eyes never left the knife as he spoke. Check it out, kid. I did, and surprisingly, the items were exactly where the devil said they would be. There is, however, an intriguing collection of other strange items in the chest also. Hey, Oz, I called. Take a look at this. Sure, kid. He backed across the shop to join me. As he did, he flipped the knife into what I now recognized as a throwing grip. Apparently, Frumple recognized it too, because he stayed frozen in position. Well, what have we here? Oz chortled. Gentlemen, the devil called plaintively. I could probably help you better if I knew what you needed. True enough, Oz responded, reclaiming his weapons. Frumple, it occurs to me we haven't been completely open with you. That will have to be corrected if we're going to be allies. Wait a minute, Oz, I interrupted. What makes you think we can trust him after he's tried so hard to get us killed? Simple, kid. He tried to get us killed to protect himself, right? Well, so once we explain it's in his own self-interest to help us, he should be completely trustworthy. Really? I sneered. Well, as trustworthy as any devil can be, Oz admitted. I resent the implications of that, pervert, Frumple exclaimed. If you want any help, you'd better... Oz's knife flashed through the air and thunked into the wall, scant inches from the devil's head. Shut up and listen, Frumple, he snarled, and that's Purvect. What's in a name, Oz? I asked innocently. Shut up, kid. Okay, Frumple, does the name Istvan mean anything to you? No. Should it? It should if you want to stay alive. He's a madman magician who's trying to take over the dimensions, starting with this one. Why should that concern me? Frumple frowned. We devils trade with anyone who can pay the price. We don't concern ourselves with any analyzing politics or mental stability. If we only dealt with sane beings, it would cut our business by a third. Maybe more. Well, you better concern yourself this time. Maybe you didn't hear me. Istvan is starting with this dimension. He's out to get a monopoly on Claw's energies to use on other dimensions. To do that, he's out to kill anyone else in this dimension who knows how to tap those energies. He's not big on sharing. Interesting theory. But where's the proof? I mean, who's he supposed to have killed? Garkin, for one, I said dryly. That's right, Oz snarled. You're so eager to know why the two of us are traveling together. Well, Skeeve here was Garkin's apprentice until Istvan sent assassins to wipe out the competition. Assassins? That's right. You saw two of them. Those imps you teleported about a week back. Oz flourished at the assassin's cloak we had acquired. Where do you think we got this? In a rummage sale? Frumple commented thoughtfully. And he's arming them with tech weapons. Take a look at this crossbow coral. Oz lobbed one of the missiles to the devil, who caught it deftly and examined it closely. I didn't notice that before. It's a good camouflage job, but totally unethical. Now do you see why enlisting your aid takes priority over the pleasure of slitting your lying throat? I see what you mean, Frumple replied without rancor. It's most convincing. But what can I do? You tell us. You devils are supposed to have wonders for every occasion. What have you got that would give us the edge over a madman who knows his magic? Frumple thought for several minutes, then shrugged. I can't think of anything just offhand. I haven't been stocking weapons lately. Not much call for them in this dimension. Terrific, I said. Can we kill him now, Oz? Say, would you put a muzzle on him? Frumple said. What's your gripe anyway, Skeeve? I don't take well to being hung, I snarled. Really? Well, you'll get used to it if you keep practicing magic. It's being burned that's really a pain. Wait a minute, Frumple, Oz interrupted. You're acting awfully casual about hanging for someone. For someone who was supposed to... Wait a minute, Frumple, Oz interrupted. You're acting awfully casual about hanging for someone who was surprised to see us alive. I was. I underestimated your apprentice's mastery of the energies. If I had thought you would escape, I would have thought of something else. I was trying to get you killed, after all. He doesn't sound particularly trustworthy, I observed. You will notice, my young friend, that I stated my intentions in the past tense. Now that we share a common goal, you'll find me much easier to deal with. Which brings us back to our original question, Oz asserted. What can you do for us, Frumple? I really don't know, the devil admitted. Unless... I know, I can send you to the bazaar. The bazaar? I asked. The bazaar on Deva. If you can't find what you need there, it doesn't exist. Why didn't I think of that before? That's the answer. He was on his feet now, moving toward us. I know you're in a hurry, so I'll get you started. Not so fast, Frumple. Oz had his sword out, menacing the devil. We want a guarantee this is a round trip you're sending us on. I don't understand. Simple. You tried to get rid of us once. It occurs to me you might be tempted to send us off to some backwater dimension with no way to get back. But I give you my word that we don't want your word, Oz grinned. We want your presence. What? Where we go, you go. You're coming with us, just to be extra sure we get back. I can't do that, Frumple seemed honestly terrified. I've been banned from Deva. You don't know what they'll do if I went back. That's too bad. We want a guaranteed return before we budge, and that's you. Wait a minute. I think I've got the answer. The devil began frantically rummaging through chests. I watched, fascinated as an astounding array of strange objects emerged as he searched. Here it is, he cried at last, holding his prize aloft. It appeared to be a metal rod, about 8 inches long and 2 inches in diameter. It had strange marking on its sides and a button on the end. A D-hopper, Oz exclaimed. I haven't seen one of those in years. Frumple tossed it to him. There you go. Is that guarantee enough? What is it, Oz? I asked, craning my neck to see. He seized the ends of the rod and twisted in opposite directions. Apparently, it was constructed of at least 2 parts because the symbols began to slide around the rod in opposite directions. Depending on where you want to go, you align different symbols. Then you just push the button and... Wait a minute, Frumple cried. We haven't settled a price for that yet. Price? I asked. Yeah, price. Those things don't grow on trees, you know. If you recall, Oz murmured, you still owe us from our last deal. True enough, Frumple agreed. But as you yourself pointed out, Those D-hoppers are rare, a real collector's item. It's only fair that our contract be renegotiated at a slightly higher fee. Frumple, we're in too much of a hurry to argue, Oz announced. I'll say, once what we... Oh, what am I trying to say? Frumple, we're in too much of a hurry to argue, Oz announced. I'll say once what we're willing to relinquish over and above our original deal, and you can take it or leave it. Fair enough? What did you have in mind? Frumple asked, rubbing his hands together eagerly. Your life. My... oh. I see. Yes, that. Should be an acceptable price. I'm surprised at you, Frumpled, I chimed in. Letting a collector's item go that cheap? Come on, kid. Oz was adjusting the settings on the D-Harper. Let's get moving. Just a second, Oz. I want to get my sword. Leave it. We can pick it up on the way back. Say, Oz, how long does it take to travel between the dimensions? The walls of Frumple's hut suddenly dissolved in a kaleidoscope of color. Not long, kid. In fact, we're there. And we were. So I hope that wasn't too much of a tongue twister near the end of that chapter, but that is chapter 16. Be careful with that and enjoy, please and thank you. And hopefully I will get my act together so that we will get 5 full chapters next week. Have a great weekend.